Let's dive into these unbelievable cheating tales. Story 1. I caught him cheating once. Is it right to test him again? Mind you, this is a guy who swore up and down on his mom's life he would never cheat. Texted me telling me how he loved me and was checking in with my day, all while texting the other girl sexting and demanding to see her. Yeah, interesting. I was thinking of texting him and tricking him, pretending to be another girl and see if he falls for it. Am I wrong for testing him after he already cheated so easily? Courage. For context, it's been nearly 3 weeks since the last incident. Again, the only reason I stayed is because he said he wanted to change and be a better man for me. IDK, if he's capable of actually turning down a hot girl wanting to fuck. I don't trust his words. Story 2. He's scared of losing what he have, but don't want to end what him and I have. Em and I have been friends for quite some time. He's married, have 2 kids. I'm alone, have 3 kids. He lives in Australia, I live in Germany. Things was fine, we were good friends, talked about things friends talk about, and out of nowhere we both ended up with feelings, and ended up having what would be a actual relationship. We tried shutting down back then, but one thing led to another, and here we are 3 years later. I know I am totally wrong in this, and should have walked away, but for some reason I keep staying. He knows he's totally wrong in this, and for some reason he also stays. Lately things have been rough. I keep feeling like he's walking away, and been giving him the option to, over and over. He keep telling me how scared he is of losing what he have. He never mentioned his wife, but always only his kids. And I get it, I've told him that maybe we should just stop talking for some time, and he should go fix his life, but every time he end up calling, and we are just back to where we were. Why is he willing to keep risking his marriage, and life in general, if he's so scared of losing it? Why does he stay with me, if the life he have back in Australia is the life he wants? He have said it himself multiple times. He might not miss me as much. He loves me, but just not like he used to. He doesn't really need me the way he used to. All this is his own words. I am aware that I should walk away, and what we do is very wrong, so I really don't need 50 messages telling me that. But I really need to try and understand why he's not just walking away. We all know it will stop eventually. He's not going to get a divorce and live happily ever after with me. So it's really just me trying to understand all of this. Story 3. I was in a relationship with a serial cheater who was also a gold digger. I was in a relationship with this guy who played for Millby. We were together for 2 years. We'll call him A-Rod, which is what he goes by, but gets weird about it. During our 2 years together, I was supporting him and his family while he was living in the States for baseball, along while he was back in the Dominican Republic, where he's from, when the season was over. For our whole relationship, after sending him a total of 5K, I learned that he had multiple girlfriends in the state where we met and I live in. He also had a whole ex-wife in AZ, who he wasn't officially divorced from, and never stopped contact with her. She let me know how he was constantly cheating and making excuses for money while they were together for 4 years. He got kicked out of Millby with other teammates for having females in their hotel room during spring training in AZ. There's a whole article about it, so he literally got caught up. And while being in the same state as me for the holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas, his excuse was he was doing extra baseball training to get back into Millby. His sponsor was one of his girlfriends who he was dating for the same amount of time we were. He still kept in contact with me while living with her and her family. He complained about her, saying how she was overweight, couldn't handle her liquor, and was a bad drunk, was controlling and had anger issues along with using money against him. We'll call her Ash. It was so bad that he wanted me to come basically save him, but all I could do was give him advice. When I think about it now, he took advantage of how young I was and only drained me out of developing a life for myself. Me and Ash got into contact because we knew the same people who learned we were both in a relationship with A-Rod. She told me she wanted to work together as women to confront him because we didn't deserve it, just for her to take his word over mine, along with having proof of me and A-Rod's relationship timeline, plus proof of him saying things about her. We even got into a call with his ex-wife, so Ash was past whipped by this man and his lies. Ash gets upset with me because I kept telling him to tell her the truth, and Ash, his sister wife best friend, decides to call me a homewrecker, when that's not my character nor what it was. It took me everything to not send the receipts of me sending him and his family money, along with messages and pictures and video proof. Also, Ash lied about being pregnant, because she was in denial of others telling her he was a cheater, and A-Rod got upset with her. She's older than me, which I thought was pathetic. Because why lie about that? Anyways, after being sick to my stomach, and previous got out of an abusive relationship before starting one with A-Rod, I left him, and honestly only wanted to keep contact for my money back. But that's not going to happen. So update, A-Rod and Ash are engaged/married, and we live the same state. I'm in a relationship where I'm not getting cheated on, lied to, or used for money, and I have a beautiful baby girl. P.S. A-Rod, still tries to contact me through social media with multiple accounts, along with calling/messaging anyone close to me, if not myself. Story 4. Found out my boyfriend was cheating and I don't know what to do. I, 24F, found out that my boyfriend, 26M, has been cheating on me and I don't know what to do. We've been together for almost 3 years and everything seemed fine. Or at least, I thought it was. A couple of days ago, I was at his apartment and I accidentally left my phone at home. We were hanging out and I needed to call my mom, so I asked if I could use his phone for a second. He handed it to me without hesitation, but as I opened his texts to dial her number, I saw a message from a number I didn't recognize. It said, "Can't wait to see you again tonight. I miss you." At first, I thought I was overthinking it, but I couldn't help myself. I scrolled back through the conversation. There were texts dating back a few months. Flirting, plans to meet up, even mentions of secret dates. I had to leave before I said something I'd regret, so I grabbed my stuff and went home. I tried calling him, but he didn't pick up. That night, he sent me a message saying, "Hey, I hope everything's okay. I'll explain everything tomorrow." I didn't respond. It's been 2 days now, and I don't know if I want to confront him or just move on without a word. I feel so betrayed. Has anyone else been in a similar situation? How do I even handle this? Story 5. My friend's husband is trying to hook up with me, and now she won't believe me. Okay. I posted about this in the advice channel too, but now it's resolved and just a story to share. Recently, some random number texted me and asked me if I was comfortable hooking up with someone who was in a relationship. I kept pushing, and he gave small hints here and there. Says we're in the same age group, live close by, etc. I started to get a feeling it was someone I was thinking of, but was hoping it wasn't, because his wife used to be my best friend. I was even their bridesmaid, but he used this emoji that nobody else in my friend circle uses except this guy. My heart sank, and at point I knew. He also mentioned a memory I shared with nobody but this guy. He said he won't say his name until I said I was okay with cheating. Naturally, I lied and said if he can confirm his bane, then yes, and said his name. He says yes. Are you okay with that? I left him on read. Anyways, gathered the screenshots and told my friend via text cause quite frankly we hadn't seen other in a long time. I had a feeling she might be in denial, cause I understand it's a lot to process, and you want to believe your husband wouldn't do that. After reading all the evidence which I cross-referenced with some inappropriate DMs he sent, I honestly should have told her about those when it happened, but I just didn't know what to make of them. After getting these explicit texts about wanting to F***CK my brains out, I felt very differently about those DMs. After reading everything, she still said it doesn't prove anything because I didn't call and hear his voice. The voice thing could have concretely proved it, but I just didn't call. Anyways, I left it at that. Our friendship is probably done. I don't see how we can move forward, but I did the right thing. She's just married to a cheater who said he wishes he met me first instead. Story 6. I think my friend's girlfriend cheats and I don't know what to do. I recently moved to another city, and my friend's girlfriend lives there too. I went out last night, and she was at the same place with me. I didn't witness any drastic, but she was being a little too touchy with a couple of different people. I even saw a guy walking holding her waist with both hands at the club. I have female friends, and I would never touch their waist like that, never. The reason why this is concerning is that I've heard lots of stories about her and how she sleeps with other people. She was with one of these people yesterday. This guy knows she has a boyfriend, and he knows the boyfriend. Obviously, I can't just go with the rumors, but after what I saw last night, it's hard not to believe it. Her boyfriend is one of my closest friends, but I have no idea how to bring this up. I am probably wrong, but if it's all true, then I would have hidden something crazy to my friend, and I don't like that. I really don't know what to do here. Update. I spoke to my friend. Turns out there are other things he recently discovered a couple of days ago related to what I saw, and another person reached out to him. He's okay, and he will deal with the issue from here. Thank you for the advice. Story 7. Just realized I'm being cheated on. I came here to vent and share my story, but as I start to write this, I just feel sickened, and my eyes are tearing up too much to write. Now, I'm just so tired of the cruelty from people who claim they love you. Loving me is scarring me and making me vomit. It's not giving all your time and energy to him staying out late then falling asleep at 8 p.m. when we're together. It's not texting him from my fucking bed. I'm just tired of people's selfishness. For anyone out there cheating on their partner right now, get a backbone. Grow up and tell your partner it's over. Don't gut them, because you're too afraid to have a difficult conversation. There's nothing more cruel than being betrayed by the one person who should be protecting you. Again, it's just I can't sleep and haven't been able to for days and making things worse. It breaks my heart that others are going though the same. If you're not alone, and I'm sorry you're going through this. I hope you find peace and the kind of love you deserve from someone who feels grateful to be with you. Update. I appreciate everyone taking the time to respond. It's hitting so hard right now, I just want to be able to breathe without it hurting. It's just so hard being here alone knowing they're together right now. Can't sleep, and when I do, I dream about it. It just makes me never want to touch another person again. It just disgusts me. The absence of any sort of love and sex. Because if I was loved, this never would have happened. Story 8. Cheating with homewrecker is weird. This happened years ago. We aren't together anymore. While I was dating my GF, I was disappointed when she told me she didn't want to be sexual. Over 2 years together and still no sex. I was giving up hope. I did enjoy being with her, but I badly wanted our relationship to be sexual. Later on, she introduces me to a new friend. Her friend had a crush on me. Every time I went to see my GF, her friend would be there and try to flirt with me. She didn't know we were together. My GF found that funny, seeing her try to take her BF. After a while, I finally told her the truth, and she was mad at both of us. After a month, we became friends again. I can't exactly remember how it happened, but later on I ended up hooking up with her. I felt bad for a while, but I was so sexual frustrated. Her friend was so happy I cheated. I thought she wouldn't like it if I just came over for sex, but she loved it. A little too much. She would bend over naked for me and wave her at me, or lay on the bed and spread her legs for me. Always have a smile on her face doing it. Surprised how happy she was to give me a blowjob. Took me a while to realize she was so happy because she's making her friend BF cheat with her. Weird way to be happy to have a dick in her mouth. While I was screwing her from behind, I had her spread her ass with her hands. She loved that. Again, weird way to be happy while I stared at her asshole while I screwed her. Sadly, weren't able to do anal. Loved her pink asshole. While I was away, she would text me telling me to come over, or flirting texts like saying I can do things she can't, while sending me nudes. We continued to cheat for a month. While we were cheating, my GF wanted the three of us to hang out together. While we were spending time together, her friend told my GF she has a new BF, and she's been fucking him a lot. It was weird seeing her so happy. My GF thought that was funny. I didn't want the three of us to hang out together after that. Then the day came. When I checked my phone, I saw a text saying, "Please tell me it isn't true," from my GF. There was another text from her friend saying she told her the truth. I felt so horrible hearing how sad my GF felt. She told me she still wanted to be together. I know I don't deserve her, but I stayed with her. Called her friend and told her it's over. She was so mad. I should have blocked her sooner. A week after that, she would send me text saying she misses me and wants to see me again. IDK, how long after that she sent me a video of her fingering herself. Under the video, she sent a text saying to come over. I blocked her after that. I stayed with my GF a year and a half longer until we broke up. Ironically, she wanted to be sexual. She found out she was into pegging. We had other problems in the relationship, so we broke up, and because I ain't doing that. 3 years later, I get a text from her friend, or I guess ex-friend now. IDK when I unblocked her, but we talked, and she told me she wanted to try again. Being sexual for a while, I missed how sexual we were back then, so I thought, why not? Told her sure, and she asked for my ex number. I was confused, but gave it to her anyway. She calls her and tells my ex that I'm with her again, and then talks shit about her. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and seeing. It's been years, WTH? Ignoring how weird that was, I wanted to screw her again, and she told me she isn't ready for that. She wants me to love her for who she is, not for her body. Also, she has a baby. I made up a dumb excuse to break up and then blocked her. Almost forgot a few months after I was caught cheating. My GF called her friend. I was so confused why she was talking to her like they were friends again. Then, she starts talking shit, saying I belong to her, then calls her a slut for trying to steal me. I don't think I deserve to have 2 girls fighting over me. Her ex-friend tried getting in contact with me again half a year ago. I wasn't interested, and I didn't want to see if she's still holding that grudge 2 years later. 9. Healing after an affair. I am 27F, partner is 27 meters. To keep it short, I've lived 10 lives compared to my partner in the amount of time I've been alive. Different states, multiple education paths, long-term relationships under my belt, been through abuse, court, friends murdered, partners jailed, dad died, single mom for 4 years, SA, PTSD, else, and much more bullshit. In that same time, my partner just had a very typical life. One girlfriend that lasted a year, and a lot of hookups in between. High school, punk scene, shows, and good times. Nothing ever really going south or any real responsibilities until we got together. He chased me and I kept saying no. I am done dating. Till I decided to finally give him a shot. He was persistent, and I thought he may very well be a good guy for me. His friends had raving reviews of his character, and for a long time I felt safe and so goddamn lucky. He's into D&D, fantasy, but also into motorcycles and old cars. Works a good job at the port of LB. 10 years clean. He felt safe. Right before our year anniversary, I became pregnant. He was horrified. Not that he didn't want kids, but that he didn't feel ready to be a dad. Having kids to him was the last step of his life plans. Whereas, I was already a mom of a 4-year-old, I have been ready to be a parent for a long time now, so the fear wasn't that heavy for me. I was more fearful of uprooting my life to move to LB. I lived 30 minutes away, and my daughter had everything in place where I was at. He had all these plans. I'm going to take over my dad's business. I'm going to move us into the house at 5 months/name picking. Then all of a sudden, he stopped showing up as much, stopped planning things, stalled on moving us in, picked fights and pointed the finger at me when I brought it up, became really aggro, went to the gym every day of the week and took on a persona I didn't know he had. I was livid the entire time, because I wanted to know WTF was going on with moving. I was only getting more pregnant and uncomfortable. He waited all the way till month of baby due date to get us in there, and once he was so shut off, distant all the time, constantly on his phone, outside smoking cigs and playing games on his phone, and then leaving to the gym or the smoke shop or a meeting. Never was here. Put off naming our son till last minute. Always seemed depressed, never initiated sex. Now I had our son. He was incredible in the hospital. Crying, saying things like, "I can't believe our love made this baby," and telling me no one will ever compare to me. I am the mother of his child, and he is so happy. He was everything I dreamed of having in regards to a support partner. Then, all few weeks later, "Hi, An," he regressed right back. Come December, he leaves his phone at home by accident. I go through it out of impulse and suspicion. Left, right, and center he was cheating. He was having conversations with EXS and ex-hookup buddies about how emotionally draining and annoying I was. How hard it is to raise someone else's kid. He was here, on Reddit, on the /GoneWild thread, seeking local sex and exchanging photos. He was having a long-term, 8-month-long, relationship with a girl who he used to sleep with on and off, who's in an open marriage and knew about me. That one hurt. That one was emotional and physical. She has everything I don't have. Whew. She's cool girl, giant ass, slim waist, into the same nerd shit he was into. I feel like he loved her. He slept with her while I lived here. He went to her apartment while I was in bed and hooked up with her. I do remember hearing him crying in the shower after, in hindsight. When I caught him, he swore off everything. He completely deleted every app without me asking, got a therapist, did step work, and answered all my questions honestly even though it killed me. He doesn't really know how he was able to do it all, but intends to fix himself so he doesn't destroy his family any further. Is it possible to have loved someone and cheated purely out of self-destruction and fear? Is it possible to heal after an affair? I have been experiencing PTSD symptoms. I do talk therapy, trauma therapy, and support groups 3 times a week just to not want to die and be the mom I need to be for my kids. My self-worth is shot. Healing feels like putting a band-aid on a dead body. I am broken and dispersed for hope. Story 10. Hopeless after infidelity. I'm scared to even write this, but I, 44F, found out my 49 meters BF cheated on me almost a year ago. I decided to stay. We did couples therapy, but it's almost a year later, and I just cannot get over it. I found out he was cheating 2 months after I moved in, and so that was part of the reason I stayed. Plus, I love him. Since then, I don't like who I have become. I am so angry and don't trust him at all. I rage out on him, and am constantly accusing him of stuff, and I'm so tired of living this way. I really thought I could move forward and make it work, but I'm realizing today we might have to break up. It's just not healthy for either one of us. I guess my question would be, has anyone had experience with this? And how to get over betrayal and be happy? I don't want to leave, but I just don't think I can get over it. I am so heartbroken and can't believe I'm having to start over again at 44. I just feel like the biggest failure and have no hope. Date. I need to add more information about his cheating. It was a 3-month emotional affair with a lady from his job. I also found a text to his baby mama, and one of them he told her she was beautiful. He was also on Snapchat without me knowing and had received a bikini pic from an ex. I don't know what else. The thing was, he said he cheated BC. We were fighting, but we were doing good to me. He even asked me to move in with him. I think that's what makes it so hard, is I thought everything was okay. He even used to say he never cheats, like it was almost his tagline. I was just so blindsided. I come from a background of abuse and trauma, and finally felt like I had found someone who I could feel safe with. I didn't even date for 5 years prior to this BC of what I went though. I just thought I'd give myself time. IDK, it's just so fucking depressing. Story 11. I was the other woman without knowing, and she took him back. A few months back, I started a casual thing with a guy. The first thought was a red flag, due to having a clearly manipulative and antisocial personality. But I found compelling enough for a casual thing, because I wanted to explore new things. After seeing him for a short while, almost 2 months, I started feeling suspicious, based on eyeing his social media. I also didn't like the way I felt being involved with him, so I made a move to end it. While I was ending it, via text, he was giving me a hard time about it. Tales to myth. I then chose to start pressing him about suspecting he has a girlfriend. To my surprise, he owned up to it, but claimed they have an open relationship. At this point, I had a hunch about who his girlfriend is, so I immediately messaged her on IG to ask her. Turns out she was indeed his GF, and that no, they were not open. She's clearly upset based on her messages, and she politely thanks me. We don't talk further. While this is happening, he's calling me and pleading and threatening me not to talk to her. I simply tell him it's too late. He then proceeds to be verbally abusive for 5 minutes before ending the call. After that, it's over with the exception of a couple of angry texts. Now months later, I get the itch to check her IGBC. It was visible in my DMs, and she had a story which was not common. I look at it and find out they are still together. I'm so pissed off that after my act of decency, she would be stupid enough to take him back. It makes me sick to think about what lies he might have told her about me. Nice. I'm writing this here to deal with my anger so I don't impulsively write to either of these people. Story 12. Divorce and pursue happiness, or stay and choose stability. I found out almost a year ago my spouse has been cheating on me for about 5 years with my best friend. Live in NJ. Married for 11 and we have 5 children together. Mainly why I gave it a year to see if we could work through the situation. We have gone to therapy and continued intimacy throughout. Those both were probably worse for my mental, so I opted to stop going and stop the intimacy. At the end of the day, my spouse seems somewhat remorseful now, but I can't get over the years factor with the cheating or the lies spoken to me and the kids. The reality that I can't trust this again, and I don't want to. So I want a divorce. I feel we should keep the home for stability with the kids, and she refuses to move out with her friends offering her a place. Our relationship is not healthy for the kids, and splitting is very likely better for them. But I am the sole provider and cannot afford to pay for 2 homes. If I move out to get my own place for me and the kids, I'll likely be ordered to continue paying the mortgage and upkeep on the marital home, lawyer has explained to me. Because I continued to live together for so long, we have reconciled, and it'll be seen as I forgave her, so I can't even use the infidelity in court. However, we have to live separately to initiate divorce proceedings, so I'm stuck to the point where I am considering being homeless, paying for her home, and probably child support, and possibly alimony on top of it, just to pursue this divorce, but at what cost for the kids and my financial and physical health. Sucky situation. Any thoughts? Story 13. My dad cheated on my mom. My dad decided to leave my mom when my baby was 3 weeks old, my first baby and my parents' first grandbaby. He completely blindsided everyone, including my mom. They decided to work on their marriage, but my mom found out he was cheating the whole time with a woman who knew he was married and is 20 years younger than him. I feel like he really ruined one of the best times of my life, and also my mom's. He never apologized for what he did, and he told me, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Classic narcissistic behavior. Of course, I still see the great times, and I love my baby more than everything, but I still think of the betrayal that he caused when I think of her newborn memories. I don't speak to him anymore, and neither do my siblings/mom. He's been awful to my mom and has basically mentally and emotionally abused her. They recently finalized their divorce, and I am relieved. And I'm thankful that my 5-month-old baby will never remember him, as I have no plans to see him again. My dad and I never had the best relationship. He was never the greatest dad. My siblings and I have said this for years. He's never reached out wanting to see my daughter, which doesn't surprise me. He's still with his new GF and her 3 kids. They recently moved in together after dating officially less than 3 months. He treats them a lot better than he ever treated us kids. I think a lot of this started because my baby made him feel old. He's 57. Is it terrible of me to never want to see him again? Story 14. My ex cheated on me our entire relationship. My ex-boyfriend of 1.5 years cheated on me throughout our entire relationship, and I just found out today. It started 3 days ago when my friend sent a video where he was kissing another girl. I immediately broke up with him, BCIM not dealing with that shit. 2 days later, one of his old friends come to me and tell me that he's been cheating our entire relationship with different girls on parties, and even slept with one when he was on vacation with his friends. His friend also told me that they stopped being friends. He recently realized that my ex is a manipulator and lies about everything and everyone. During our relationship, he always told me he loved me and that I am the only one, and he wanted to marry me blah blah, and everything was fake. How will I ever be able to trust a man ever again? Story 15. Fiancé cheats with woman he meets on business trip after 6 years together. I, 29F, was with my partner, 30M, for over 6 years. We started dating my senior year of college. We were in the same city at first, and then he lost his job about 6 months into dating. At that point, he moved home across the country, and I stayed to work and was pretty happy in my own life. COVID then hit, so we were apart, but for the next 2 to 3 years, we visited each other, traveled together, and with my work trips, I traveled to his city and saw him every week for a year of this. He then, at the end of COVID, got a new job in his city, and I decided that I didn't want to do long distance anymore. I got a new, better job with relocation money and sold my condo in my city in a span of less than 3 months and moved across the country. I didn't realize it then, but it was a big choice. I moved away from my hometown/city where I grew up, went to college, and worked, my friends and family, to be in his home city with his friends and family. We got an apartment together, and I moved my cat as well. We were happy for about a year, and then he brought up looking at rings one day when we were in a mall. Over the next 3 to 4 months, we talked rings, we planned a trip to Europe, unrelated, and he proposed in Europe on the trip. Then, I think that was his OSH*T moment after the proposal. He started to bring up problems he had, things that he didn't bring up for 4 to 5 years at this point. I was surprised at the issues he brought up, because I didn't believe I had changed much, and we had lived together for at least a year at this point. Our jobs were stable, we had good friends, and we hosted often. I truly believe he just wasn't ready to settle. I was his first real girlfriend. I dated before him, and he had thoughts of, what if there's someone better out there? About 6 months after the proposal, he traveled to Asia for 3 weeks for work. I visited him for 1 week, and after I left, he went on a group tour and met a girl solo traveling. Apparently, they spent half a day, just the two of them after this tour, and when he came back, he was Facebook calling her every other night. He did not tell me about her, and I found out when I saw his location was not at the gym when he told me he was going to the gym. Instead, he was calling her, and one night I tried to call him on Facebook Messenger, and it gave me a "this user is already on a call" error. Once I saw this, I confronted him, asked to read their messages, and he basically said something like, "Oh, because we have problems, my mind, even if it's subconscious, is wandering." I didn't know what to say. The messages were pretty innocent, could be between friends, and I simply told him, "You know you have non-platonic thoughts about this girl, so you have to stop, otherwise it's not okay." He told me he stopped talking to her. 9 months later, we had gone to couples therapy, tried to work out our problems, and honestly, I think we tried. He started to shut down, and every time we tried to have a discussion, he would say, "I can't do this." That turned to, "I want to break," which turned to, "I want to break up." Looking back, I stayed in this for too long, and as he was sliding out the door, I should have removed myself. At some point, he started to talk to her again. This, I believe, was when he asked, and I agreed to continue living in the same app but not speak to each other. That arrangement obviously was not helpful. After 9 months of not talking, he claims, he told me after the week that he had feelings for her, and then a week later he said he wanted to do something for himself for once and wanted to pursue those feelings. Call it a quarter-life crisis, call it feeling oppressed by immigrant parents. At that point, I needed to remove myself or lose self-respect, and I said, let's break up. He moved home, his parents were close by, and for the next 2 months we worked through the logistics of moving out. Less than a couple of weeks after we officially broke up, his guy friends followed her on IG. She's private with only a couple hundred followers, so he must have introduced her. I later learned less than 2 months later he went to Asia to see her, and then soon after a couple's IG profile popped up with their selfie as the profile pic and "Our Story, written with love, by love, for love" as the tagline. Everything about this is disgusting. From his friends following her, we hosted them at our place at least once every 3 weeks. We saw them every other week. I invited them into my home. To this public rebound without any care about what people may think, his friends have said, "Wow, he's making it obvious he cheated with so little time in between. I am glad I am no longer with someone with this poor character, and have learned valuable lessons for the future. I am also protective of losing my autonomy in future relationships and the power imbalance that happened here. I was with him for almost 3 years when he was unemployed. He told me himself that he felt like I was the only one who supported him, as his parents were making him feel bad about his situation, and he didn't want to open up to friends. Then, once he got the good job again, he felt like he could raise all the issues he never did and disrespect me. I have always been capable and worthy of someone who values me, and I regret not seeing it sooner. I should have ended it at least a year before. Hooked on the drama? Hit that subscribe button now for more insane stories. Story 16. Is there hope after finding out you have been living a lie? I recently found out that my husband of 7 years has been unfaithful and was having affairs the entire time we were married. Are now openly considering separation, and he just wants me to forgive, and we build our family. He is acknowledging of all the hurt does not make me feel better. All I'm feeling like I was never valued enough and used all along. I was blinded and was alone in the relationship makes me feel very hurt. Thinking about my entire marriage makes me feel like I was robbed of my life by all the deceitfulness. Those who have gone through this, how did you heal? Story 1736F. Cheated all through the marriage for 12 years and ruined my husband's 38M life. I am what evil looks like. Hitting rock bottom in life. The very bottom. No sympathy. Just here looking at death and counting days. Living as a dead body. Just here to say, life is precious. Be good to your loved ones. Hating every breath of me in my life. Every day it's a struggle to even breath. My husband gave me more than everything and treated me and my family like a queen. All I gave him back was cheating on him repeatedly and worst, confessing to him to get my own guilt off. If you have never seen evil in your life, that's me. Worst garbage of a human being. I am 36 years old and my life has been all about sex. Cheating, guys. I regret my whole life. Feels like it's better to die and remove myself from the world. It will be a better place without people like me. Wouldn't wish my situation for my worst enemy. Bullet. Choices define who we are, and my choices led me here. For anyone out there, please think 100 times before you choose to do something out of normal. Story 18. I feel trapped. My husband's betrayal and my inability to leave. My heart aches with a pain I can't describe. Barracariness. I've been married for only a year, and my husband has already betrayed me. The worst part? Even after I chose to forgive him, hoping for a chance to rebuild, he remains cold and uncommunicative. The truth is, this isn't a one-time mistake. I recently discovered he's been seeing someone else since the very beginning of our marriage. I'm the one who supports him. I provide our home, our food, everything. And yet, he still managed to sneak around. He claims he was blackmailed by this other woman, that she threatened suicide, and to ruin his reputation online if he ended things. A part of me wants to believe him, to cling to any hope of salvaging our relationship, but the thought of being replaced, of being compared to someone else, cuts like a knife. It's a constant, agonizing reminder of my own perceived inadequacy. I desperately try to be indifferent, to shut down the emotions that threaten to consume me. But it doesn't work. The heartache is relentless. Every night is a battle against sleeplessness. Every morning a struggle to face the day. My days are spent in a numb fog, haunted by the betrayal and the fear that it's still happening. I feel trapped, torn between the deep attachment I have to him, an attachment that causes me physical pain at the thought of losing him, and the gnawing knowledge of his deception. Now, I know I need to find a way out of this cycle of pain, but I feel lost and overwhelmed. I don't know what to do anymore. Story 19. I took the grenade approach to ending the relationship and ruined everything. We were long distance. He was in Turkey and I was from Canada. I'd make the trip down to see him for 6 months out of a year. It was perfect at first, but it started to feel like I was an international booty call since the romance stopped. But he still expected me to be physical despite making me cry all the time. He told me he would never marry a girl like me during an argument about my needs of emotional effort, which was strange since he said he never wanted to get married again after his divorce in the first place, and threw a chair after saying he had to beg me for a hug. Barrett. I really begged him to communicate with me for over 3 months after that, but he never cared to talk with me. I felt like the last priority in his life and begged him to at least try couples counseling, but he didn't want to put effort into helping me find one in his country. I was getting even more desperate and frustrated since I only had a week left before returning home, but he didn't seem to mind and was in no rush. I went on a Facebook group for expats and found someone who would drive me to my appointments in Turkey since I didn't want his help anymore. I ended up having an emotional affair with this person that lasted several days, and we decided to get dinner near our apartment. My ex caught him walking me home and hugging me goodbye. He called me and asked me where I was. I lied and said I wasn't with anyone, but he caught me in my lie when he saw us from his car. I know it's my fault, and I should have been patient with him. It was a huge mistake that ruined everything. I should have walked away, but I know I would have never left him, since he was all I had. We got a kitten together, and I knew if I left, I'd never see her again. Maybe a stupid reason, but it's been over a year, and I can't sleep at night for destroying a relationship with someone I loved. BC. I couldn't keep my cool and be patient/calm, or at least walk away. I develop ulcers regularly, since I'm suffering with depression and can't move from my bed anymore. BC. Of the remorse. I threw a grenade at the relationship, and as expected, ruined everything. Story 20. I thought we'd break up because he was confused, but he actually cheated. So I, 26, have been dating this guy 26. I'm Italian, by the way, so sorry for my English. He is American. He came in Italy for work. We have been dating for 5 years, and everything was going right, until he come back from a job trip in Germany. He told me he was confused, worried about his promotion, and needed time after I just told him to break up. I don't think breaks can fix things, so after a week I sent a message and I told him ciao. Time passed by, and yesterday he texted me telling me he is sorry and wants me back. He come to my house, apologized to me and my parents, stayed the night, and in the morning his phone was blowing up. Calls from a coworker that I saw 2 or 3 times. I knew something was going on with her. She also texted, never talked to her by the way, me asking where he was, when pic. So I genuinely sent a picture him holding our cat and telling her, yep, he is here, don't worry. She replied, asking if he stayed the night, and I just show him the messages, and his face was dotted line face. He after told me he started to have feelings for her before we break up, and that's what happened, and he cheated. So what should I do? I know I have to leave. I don't know why I'm writing this. He's just so messed up. I never thought he would ever cheat. He was so convincing, saying he wants me back, but he has another one. The one that you cheated me with. I just don't know what to do. Story 21. I feel bad for telling the GF that the BF was cheating on her. So I don't know why, but I'm feeling super remorseful at the moment for both the GF that I told her BF was cheating on her with me and the guy. I didn't initially feel sorry for the guy ATAL cause he can't get away with it, but now I do, because he's either blocked me off everything or he's deleted/deactivated his accounts. I just can't see them. The reason I feel remorseful is because I didn't expect him to do that. The things I shared with his partner were sexual messages between him and I, and some of his sexual fantasies, as they were the sexting combos we spoke about, as we were just casual. Writing this, it's likely he's blocked me. But I feel bad because maybe that info was mega private back, and I'm concerned it would be affecting his MH, that his GF knows, and not sure who else she's told. I know it's now none of my business, but I feel bad. I feel really sorry for the GF too, because knowing that info about her partner must be so hard. But she still has all her social media up from what I can see, but just deleted all videos with him in it. I honestly feel awful, because I know I've caused this, and I'm now like, as much as I still believe she needed to know, I'm unsure on what effects it's having on both of them. I think I hate knowingly hurting people, especially if they haven't hurt me. I didn't have feelings for the guy. I've known him for years and just know him to be a fuckboy. But I know me telling her the intimate parts of what we were talking about. I know I would have really caught him by surprise, as he didn't know I was going to do that/we were getting on well, etc. Story 22. My mom is dating my dad's friend Ravi. My name is Aditya 23M. My mom's name is Sheila 48F. She is a widow. My dad passed away a long time ago. Ever since then, things have changed. My mom started dressing more modern. After a few years, she started having regular calls with my dad's friend, Ravi. Ravi is a well-built man in his 50s. He has a son and a wife. Ravi is a businessman and quite rich. My dad and Ravi were college friends. One night I found my mom moaning. At night I went to find out. I can see that she is in a VC ands, fingering herself. Later the morning I checked her call records. It's none other than Ravi Uncle. Later I got to know she is being used by Ravi Uncle quite regularly. Story 23. Accidental homewrecker? I, 21F, met this really nice guy from my university, 20M, during the first week of school. Years. We are on an exchange program in Japan, and since I was here last semester, I've been making an effort to meet the new students. I meet this guy, let's call him Luke, who I instantly feel a connection with. Things are going really well, we have the same sense of humor, and a lot of interests in common, so things are going very well. Luke and I end up going to a local bar I recommend, get pretty drunk, and end up hooking up at my dorm room. I'm very quick to catch feelings, but I decide I need to get to know him more, so we go out for breakfast the next morning. Luke then drops the bomb. He's in a 4-year relationship with his high school sweetheart. F***CK. What do I do? Am I a homewrecker? I tell him that it's not really my business and that he needs to be the one to tell his GF. He agrees but says he feels awful about what happened. I start feeling like shit because I really put this guy on a pedestal in my mind and he's treating me like a drunken mistake. Luke assures me he really does care about me and explains that his girlfriend had many previous partners, while she has been his only serious girlfriend. I understand the frustration, but also, why not just break up with her? I told him he needs to choose between experiencing other people or being with his girlfriend. His exact words were, "I don't want to explore a relationship with you, but I do." What the actual F***CK? I look through Luke's social media and find pictures of his girlfriend and start feeling miserable. I feel like the accomplice to a murder. Almost every post on her page is related to their relationship or him in general, and I feel so awful. Luke and I still hang out frequently, and I feel somewhat attached to him, but his girlfriend is still very important to him. All in all, I don't know if I should feel guilty, sad, angry, or a combination of all three. Any advice or opinions are appreciated. 24. I need help deciding whether what I did to my boyfriend was cheating, micro-cheating, or just a mistake. Me, F18, and my ex-boyfriend, M19, were together for 2 years. We met junior year of high school, and we started dating then. We're now both freshmen at different colleges, and we broke up last week. The reason we broke up was because I was flirting with guys on Discord. He joined the server I was in, and looked through all my messages, and found me talking to some guys in there, as well as talking about my celebrity crushes and men on TikTok that I found attractive. It got pretty explicit at times with my messages, I'm gonna be honest. I won't get into all the details of what I said, but it got pretty dirty. He called me and broke up with me on the spot, which I completely understand. I tried to explain myself, but he didn't want to hear it. Okay, that's fine. I'm just wondering if this is classified as cheating, and if what I did is really, really bad. Just to clarify, I've never met these people in real life, and the flirting/talking with these people lasted around a month, and also these guys were around 18 to 20. I've gone to a few people about my situation, and I've gotten mixed answers. My ex says it's cheating, and a few others have said it was micro-cheating, and others said it was wrong, but it's not cheating. I'm aware what I did was very wrong, but I don't feel like I cheated, I guess. I don't know if it's just me trying to make myself feel better, but I just need people to be brutally honest with me. Me and my ex still talk every day, and we're friends, but we argue and fight a little because of what happened and our differing opinions on what cheating is. Can anyone help me open my eyes to what I did, and if it was really that bad? Edit. It's only been a couple hours, but to call me a slut or hoe is insane when I didn't fuck anyone loudly crying. It's good to mention that the messages were in a public server, and I didn't mean them, it was just jokes. Just to clarify, I know it doesn't make what I did any less bad, but I was mentally checked out of the relationship back in November. I won't get too much into it, but it had to do with the election. He didn't vote, his dad didn't vote, and his mom voted opposite of me. He knows how much politics mean to me, especially when we're an interracial couple. We fought really bad that night and almost broke up. He said some things that really fucked me up, and I was just checked out of the relationship at that point. For everyone saying I don't care about him or his feelings, I do. It just didn't even feel like I was dating anyone at that point, and we probably should have just broken up. Thank you to everyone who's being kind, saying I'm young and we all make mistakes. Also, I guess thanks to everyone being brutally honest. Maybe I needed a reality check. For everyone wanting a future update, I doubt there'll be one because me and him are still friends and talk and call every day. Maybe I'll let you guys know if we're back together. Story 25. What do I do now? M24. F22. I'm sorry in advance. English isn't my first language, and my thoughts are all over the place. Me, M24, and my now ex, F22, have been together for about 3.5 years. I'd say we always had a healthy relationship. We understood each other in every way, shape, or form. We had the same beliefs, political views, and views on how to raise a potential child. 3.5 years we confided everything in each other and we're our best friends. Everything changed in November when, after a long and tough year, she found a new job. She loved the new job and was always very excited to tell me about it at the end of the day. During her short time there, she met a coworker with who she clicked. He is 12 years older and everything she wants to be herself as a person. I think you all can see where this goes. It all spiraled out of control when she told me in mid-December that she fell in love with him. To this day, she claims that she doesn't really want those feelings, but they feel right. And she needs them right now. At first, we tried to fix potential issues in our relationship, to find out what's going on. Looking back, it was already over. The strong trust quickly faded, and all the date ideas and plans on how to improve our relationship faded into nothing. She couldn't keep herself from him. She couldn't stop writing with him, and by the 8th of January, she chose to sleep away from home. According to her, to get close to him to see that there is no future with him. On the 19th, she came over to tell me she doesn't currently see a future for us. We avoided each other from then on. I focused on work and left for a week to spend some time away with my family. So around 2 weeks after the breakup, I'm back at our shared flat, and because of my absence, she was back to take care of the pets. We talked when I came back, which resulted in her telling me she slept with him after we split. Now I come to find out that she slept with him before we split, and I don't know how to cope. Everything in itself has been bad enough, but now finding out that she cheated on me broke me in a way I can't even begin to describe. I'm sorry for the long text and possibly rambling, but I don't know what to do. I feel lost. You read this far, I thank you from the bottom of my currently broken heart. Edit. To everyone who read this and everyone who commented, thank you. The breakup 2 weeks ago was hard enough, but finding out today, not from her by the way, that she cheated before the breakup sent me spiraling. Reading your comments means the world for me currently. Story 26. Last night, I discovered that my boyfriend downloaded dating apps maybe a month ago, but I didn't know if he used it. For the past weeks, I was getting suspicious because there's a very subtle changes in him, but so subtle I barely noticed OT and just forgot about it, and let my gut feelings fade away. To clear my suspicions, I went through his phone, go through apps he's currently using, his hidden vault, in case he's hiding something. But I found none. One place I haven't checked yet is his download history, and that's where I found out that in his recently updated in the uninstalled category were dating apps, like 6 of them, and then an app hider app. I know it was recent because I saw the game that he showed me and wanted me to download, and it was after the recently uninstalled apps. But I DK'd the exact date of when, but it's between December last year to January. I felt upset about this, but I haven't confronted him about it. I guess he was planning on cheating, right? The fact that he downloaded it? Update. We broke up. Update. The 5th of February, 25. We're back together. We talked, and he did not use them. According to him, he felt guilty, and he remembered me, so he did not push with what he was planning. So basically, he installed them, created a profile, then realized his wrongdoing, so he deleted them right away. I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt, because only God knows what he really did. I'll let him off this time, but there will be no next time. Ha ha ha. Story 27. I cheated with my wife's friend in Colombia. My wife Alondra, 43F, and I, 49M, vacationed in Colombia this past December. We took separate flights because I had to continue on to Mexico City for business. Alondra's Colombian friend Donnie, 33F, was beyond excited to meet her there, since they hadn't seen each other in years. We spent the first 4 days exploring as tourists, and then met up with Donnie for the final 3 days. At dinner, I couldn't help but notice Donnie's captivating presence and her unique indigenous beauty that was something out of that movie Apocalypto. We went out drinking and dancing on the second night, and I spent most of the night dancing with Donnie, while Alondra complained and rested her sore feet at the bar. We came back to our Airbnb, and the girls, both drunk, got playful and ended up giving me an unexpected double lap dance. This was just the start. We partied late and well into the morning on the 3rd day. This left Alondra with just a couple of hours of sleep before her flight back to the US. Donnie slept on the couch while I packed both mine and Alondra's suitcases. The next morning, Alondra made breakfast, but it didn't turn out as expected. We all jumped into an Uber and took Alondra to the airport. It was an hour-long ride back to the Airbnb, and Danny cuddled up to me the entire way. After returning to the Airbnb, I took a shower while Danny went into the kitchen. When I came out, she had prepared a delicious meal for me. I was pleasantly surprised when she said, "You deserve a better cooked meal than what I threw in the trash." While I ate, Danny showered. She proceeded to come out of the shower completely naked, grab my hand, and lead me to the bedroom. We spent the rest of the day having sex, all over the Airbnb. I then took a nap until it was time for my late flight. As we left the Airbnb, Danny stopped and gave me a warm kiss goodbye and told me to come back for just her next time. Story 28. I don't even know what happened. Me and my girlfriend were dating. Things started to go bad in November mid, and we started getting distant. Things were fine. Until January, I broke up and went no contact. Today, after almost 10 to 15 days, my crazy ass just wanted to check her profile. IDKY. And I found out she followed her ex back. They broke up a year ago and didn't speak. I don't know if I got cheated on. I just found the following few hours ago. The thing is, I don't think so that a relationship that was ended a year ago would come back in 10 to 15 days. Did I really get cheated on? Should I confront her about it? Story 29. Cheaters. What could your partner have done to make you want to just confess? I haven't been able to sleep. It's ruining my health and my relationship. I feel like if there was anything to make me believe in their ability to be honest, we could at least begin to somehow get over this. But I don't have this. I wasn't told. I found out that he had dating apps. Of course he said nothing happened. Of course he said he was going to tell me. But he didn't. And he blames me for that. Also something a cheater would do. I then found out that he was contacting escorts. He says he honestly can't remember and doesn't think anything happened. There is a genuine medical reason he may not remember, but fuck, it hurts so much. And this all happened on his last solo trip, and now he's on another one. Hope this is one of them posts where everyone tells me how dumb I am. I feel dumb. Judging myself so bad right now. And I have every single day. I literally hate myself because of this. I don't feel good or motivated or confident about anything anymore. I just know everything is going to keep being worse and worse if I can't get some type of honesty, because I just live my life feeling like I should really get the fuck out of this relationship, but I just need to know. But then again, maybe I don't. If he really loved me, he wouldn't have let me find out about a thing, and he wouldn't have blamed me. Fee, this is so horrible. I don't think I'll ever look at him the same, because I don't believe he will ever be honest. And I thought we had each other's back. Maybe that's just all down the drain cause. Here I am again up at 5 a.m. and need to work tomorrow, and all I can think about is this broken heart. If he cared, he wouldn't do this, right? What could I do to make him tell me the truth? How do I know it's the truth? Story 30. Found pictures of boyfriend on Facebook with his wife? My 24-year-old boyfriend 42M just got caught. Save the judgment, please. I'm heartbroken and stressed enough. We've been dating around 7 months. He was very controlling and always questioning me about things. It was kind of obsessive. He did, however, support me financially, kind of, but it was pretty slow. Whatever it was, though, he eventually made it happen. Obsessive. I'm in a very extensive program, so work would be hard right now. He was definitely helping me get by without working and help support my daughter. I know when you guys read this, you will be like, duh, red flag here, red flag there. Maybe I was too loved bummed, or he was just always around that. I thought this would never be the case. In the beginning of the relationship, I had always seen him during the week after he got off work, most Fridays and Sundays, but for mysterious reasons, it would always be an excuse on Saturdays. Eventually, he started coming around on Saturdays recently. He's been spending the night more and more, and we have just been spending more time together. He went into the front room today and left his wallet. I'm not sure why, but I decided to look into his wallet in the card section to see what I could find. I found an insurance card with a woman's name on it matching his same last name. I knew it wasn't his daughter because I know her name. I decided to look the name up on Facebook. Guess what? I saw pictures of them together. The only thing that I can conclude is that is his wife, just for content. I know it sounds dumb, but no. I have never been to his house. He has always made an excuse, saying that the house is dirty or his dog messed it up. When I found the information, I didn't immediately confront him. I waited until he left. He told me he could explain everything, give him one day to show me proof that he's not married or engaged. If you weren't married, why would you need a day to prove so? He also basically got very mad at me for even accusing him of that. I decided to message the woman on Facebook. I simply asked if she was married to him. 5 minutes later, I get a text from him, furious. He was asking why did I not take his word and let him improve himself before reaching out. That basically gives me all the confirmation I need. I hope I gave you all the context you need, but I'm really confused on what to do. Times BTW. I'm 24F. He's 42M, if that was confusing. I'm a very self-aware and smart girl, but this situation has made me completely look at myself so different. I'm disgusted with the situation and myself. How could he lie? Story 31. My BF, M28, cheated on me, F25, in the beginning of our relationship. Lil backstory. My BF has 2 kids with another girl and was in a relationship with her for almost 11 years. I also have a child of my own from a past relationship, so it didn't bother me that he had kids. Now, we have one baby together who's about to be 4 months old, so together we have 4 kids. Anyway, back in August of 2023, his ex had told me that he cheated on me with her. She was drunk and very hurt from him, moving on from her, so I thought she was saying it to break us up. I confronted him about it and he denied it. Shocker. Relationship. Anyway, the time frame she said that he had cheated on me was in the very beginning of our relationship, for like the first 6 weeks or so. Coming from a woman, I understand why she did it. She wanted him back and her family back. Doesn't make it necessarily right, but I see where she's coming from. But I don't know why he did it. I thought we were at our peak happiness together. Everything was still fresh and new. We did everything together. but he would get drunk and call her in the middle of the night to come over. She recently brought it up not too long ago and reopened the wound. I told him to stop lying to me and tell me the truth, because he's been lying to me about it every time I asked him for the last 2 years, and he finally told me the truth. IDK, if I am more hurt that he cheated or more hurt that he lied to me for so long. I wish he would have told me before we got our own place and before we had a baby together and before he brought me into his kids' lives and before I brought him into my son's life, because now whatever I decide isn't going to just affect me, it's going to affect all of us, because I have no job, no car, nothing, and I have my son full-time and he has his kids full-time, so I feel kind of stuck. I love him, but I DK how to move past this or if I can fully trust him again. Story 32. Should I tell my cousin's boyfriend that she is cheating on him or just avoid hanging out with them? My cousin, 27F, has cheated on her boyfriend, 29M, at least 3 times in the past year, and I think I should tell her boyfriend. Listen, this is a throwaway, but I still don't want to use real names as we're all heavy Reddit users. My cousin Maddie told me about how she made out with a guy she's known since college, and I was not happy with her at all. I told her that if she could do that to her boyfriend, then she probably doesn't like him as much as she claims. They have been together for 2 years, and he's basically become a part of the family. We even go on trips together with my fiance and other couple friends. Her boyfriend Chris is a very nice guy, but he can be a bit of a pushover, as Maddie can be a bit pushy and conceited. Maddie told me about having a one-night stand when she was at a wedding about 2 months ago, and how she was considering breaking up with Chris because the sex wasn't as good, and he's not manly enough. I was very shocked, because she really sounded like she was borderline disgusted with him, and I asked her why she felt like this all of a sudden. That's when she told me that this was the second time she slept with a guy, and it was so much better than when they were together. I am ashamed to say that I didn't automatically tell her how much of a mistake she was making, as I was so surprised that she went all the way with a guy before this time she just told me about. Maddie is family, but I have also become close with Chris, and I feel obligated to tell him that she is not being loyal to him. She mentioned that she wants them to see other people, but that she likes him being her boyfriend, so she is going to try to open the relationship. However, I don't think that's okay, even if he is okay with it. Even though he already said he wouldn't be in passing convos, he should know that she has already stepped out. I am really on the fence about it, because I do not want to overstep into someone else's relationship, but I think cheating is wrong, and I would want someone to tell me if the shoe was on the other foot. I guess I'm really asking advice on how to tell him. We have not hung out since she told me about it a few days ago, but we meet up often during the summer and vacation together. Now, I have talked to my fiance about this, and we both agree we do not want to hang around them knowing what she's done. Our mutual friend Austin is having a party this weekend, and he told me that I could invite them if they are free. But I would feel so guilty acting like everything is okay, and it is not. Any advice on how to tell him, and should I extend the invite to Maddie and Chris? Austin and Maddie aren't close, or anything, they met through me, but in a normal situation, the more the merrier, you know? Story 33. I keep relapsing and cheat on my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend which I truly love. We've been together for about 1.5 years. We currently are not living together but are planning to do so around Easter. I have this other friend who is single. We've known each other long before my girlfriend and I have met. I see her as a friend, but I do think that she is extremely hot, out of my league, and we share a lot of the same interests. I know that I am not really her type, and she has stated it many times. However, there have been 3 occasions where we've kissed. Once before my current relation, but also 2 times while me and my girlfriend have been together. I feel like a complete jerk, but I just can't help myself. She can look me in such a way that I can't control myself, especially when I haven't had sex with my girlfriend for a couple of days. She even claims that we have had sex on a drunk night, but I can't remember anything about that. I don't want to lose my girlfriend, but I want to sort out my feeling for this other friend as well. Any advice? Story 34. Cheated on my boyfriend. Hi, I'm 21F, my ex-BF is 22M. I cheated on my boyfriend of 1.5 months. To be honest, I wasn't sure about the relationship, and I wanted to end it as I felt we weren't very compatible, and I felt bad about his sexual advances. I felt a lot of pain and was a bit uncomfortable. He also got quite weird when drunk, bothering neighbors, trying to get out of running cars, and he had a sexual assault allegation made through the administration of his college. Now, this is all background, but it still makes my actions inexcusable. I kissed a guy when I went out, and I immediately regretted it. I felt guilt to my stomach and I knew I had done the worst thing I had done so far in my life. As I left the club a couple minutes later, I immediately told him what I had done and broke up with him. I'm still really sorry about everything. I'd love to hear some thoughts or experiences from other people. I'll make sure this doesn't happen again and that I'm more upfront about my feelings if I ever get in a relationship again. Story 35. Help me. My boyfriend cheated on me. My boyfriend cheated on me. What should I do? So we are together almost a year now, but he met that one girl like 2 months ago and I had a bad feeling about her, but I pushed it off. BCS. I thought they were just friends. Then 1 week ago I had a bad feeling and went through my partner's phone. I know I shouldn't have done that. And then I confronted him. BCS. I found out they were kissing. He said nothing happened and deleted the messages when I looked again, and yesterday he told me everything he said, that he lied to me and they kissed, and that he says he loves me, but now I don't know how to trust him again, especially with my existing trust issues. I'm really struggling and need advice on how to cope.